Pressing the play button.
Okay.
Play.
Play now.
It does not want to play today. Going back to preview. There we go. Welcome to Dem Boyz, a podcast that is now super into curling. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of who dat and one fan of dat win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
This week, do something a little different. In honor of the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl and in honor of our good friend Trang, who joined us a couple weeks ago, we're going to do our patron Seahawk of the week, and we're going to use Trang's favorite Seahawk of all time, Cam Chancellor. Darnell Cam Chancellor was born April 3rd, 1988, and he played his entire NFL career with the Seahawks. He's a native of Norfolk, Virginia. He starred in both basketball and football in high school before playing college football at Virginia Tech, where he moved from quarterback to defensive positions and developed into a standout safety. He was selected by the Seahawks in the 5th round, 2010 NFL Draft, quickly worked his way into the starting role in the secondary. Chancellor became known for his physical, hard-hitting style and was a central figure in Seattle's dominant defense known as the Legion of Boom, alongside teammates Richard Sherman and Longhorn legend Earl Thomas. During his career, he earned 4 Pro Bowl selections and 2 second-team All-Pro honors and was instrumental in the Seahawks Super Bowl victory. Super Bowl, what is that? That is 48. Super Bowl 48 victory over the Denver Broncos. His career statistics include over 600 total tackles, 12 interceptions, 9 forced fumbles, reflecting his impact as both a run stopper and pass defender. Throughout his time in Seattle, Chancellor was also a leader on and off the field, serving as a team captain and known for his influence in the locker room. Combination of size, strength, and football intelligence made him one of the most feared safeties of his era, often forcing opposing offenses into game plans specifically to avoid him. Chancellor's playing career was cut short due to complications from a neck injury suffered in 2017. He was unable to return to the field after being placed on IR in 2018. His legacy remains tied to Seattle's peak defensive years of the early 2010s and his reputation as one of the toughest and most physical safeties in modern NFL history. I am Paul DeSaints. Go ahead.
Well, I also think that he might be his last name might be the highest elected official last name to ever win a Super Bowl. I don't know if I have nothing to back that up. Because
premiers, no
presidents, I would think. Either.
No presidents.
No. So we'll go with that. The official Dem Boyz fact is that Chancellor is the highest elected official position to ever win a Super Bowl.
There you go. I'm Paul the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon the Cowboys fan.
We are your hosts. Izzy, let them know what time it is. Hopefully Izzy's in good spirits today.
Yeah, that's it. It's go time. Let's see you lift that.
Mr. Mandelbaum, please.
It's go time.
This one's for you, Pop. It's go time.
It's go time.
Ooh.
You've been married 3 times.
That's it. It's go time. It's go time.
All right. We'll get into a little bit of Super Bowl talk. A couple other things here in a moment, but first,
maybe we'll talk about the game just like last week.
we might, for a brief moment. A few housekeeping items here. If you want to contact the show, blessdemboyz at gmail.com, BLESSDEMBOYZ. The Twitter handle is still bless_dem_boys. You can also follow myself. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. My colleague there, Brandon, is at Ball from Grace. Still on Blue Sky. Still, but not on Blue Sky.
In spirit.
In spirit. If you're watching us live on YouTube, first of all, thank you. Second of all, while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple. And you can also listen to the podcast on YouTube later if you'd like. However you listen, first of all, again, thank you. But like, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots. The bots were busy with the Super Bowl commercials. I don't know if maybe we'll talk about that.
There were a lot of bots. Yeah, we need to get into the commercials.
Okay. Like we need to make a commercial, or we need to talk about
it. Yeah. That's what we need to do, Paul.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
A Super Bowl ad for Bless Dem Boys. We'll start fundraising now.
Let's mortgage our house. Honey, I had to mortgage the house to get a Super Bowl commercial for our podcast. That people would probably be like, "What the hell is this?" Like, whatever. All right, we will get into some Super Bowl talk here in a moment. The commercials actually might fit into this opening segment here. We at Bless Dem Boys pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things.
But enough about fish. I can discuss other things, you know.
All right, buddy. What you get into?
So I don't know, Paul. I asked you about this. You're not an Olympics guy.
If they wouldn't let Frank Costanza be president, I don't. Well, they don't want me. Yeah. I don't want them.
Yeah, that's right. Paul does not love America like me.
That's right. That's right.
Paul hates
Coming
America.
up next. Coming up next.
Paul, why do you hate America? Whoops, that's
they didn't want. They wouldn't elect Frank Costanza president. Do you remember? You remember that bit, right, on Seinfeld?
Which one was that?
When he I forget the episode. I forget the whole context, but yeah, that I'm sure that won't come back to haunt me at all.
Make sure that winds up on the clips this week.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to remember the context. I remember they were talking about something, and Frank said it was when they were talking about him finding his long lost brother in Italy.
The Costanza sign.
Yeah, and he was like, he's like, yeah, we immigrated. That's why I can never be president. That's why I don't vote. They don't want me. I don't want them.
I'm trying to find the episode listed of it.
It's gosh, what is it? The Doll? I think it might be The Doll. It's one with the Maestro, but it's not the Maestro episode. It's the other episode he's in.
Oh, is it the one where they go to Tuscany? Is that connected?
That's the Maestro. That's the Maestro episode.
Okay.
I think it's the Doll episode, because that's the one where Elaine tries to get the autograph of the other guy, the other tenor.
Yeah,
to make up with the Maestro, but then Frank wants her to show Maestro the picture of his brother, or that, to see if he knows that, knows him. So, and because Frank's trying to confirm if that's his brother or whatever. And then at the very end of the episode, Frank goes all the way to Italy.
Right.
And it's like the finale of the episode, and he's like Carlo Costanza, and he's like, "Mi nome Giuseppe," and he goes, and he's like, "Oh, okay," and he just turns around.
It's kind of like the White Lotus season 2, where they go out, they finally trace their family back to this old house, and then they're like, "Get out of here! What do we want any people for?" And they're have to run. There's well, that didn't work out how they wanted it to.
That's also, I think that's the same episode where the gif of Frank going, "Don't bring me down." That's where that comes from.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, because
you use that one a lot because I try to rain on your parade a lot.
Yeah, you do. It's all right. But yeah, because like he says, because he's not sure if that's his brother, and George is like raining on his parade, and he's like, "Don't bring me down." So anyway,
so connected to that, connecting the White Lotus back to this, we did watch the opening ceremonies, and the actress who played she like manages the hotel in season 2.
Okay.
She ends up being she like is revealed to be a lesbian like toward the end, and like she's like
not that there's anything wrong with
that there's anything wrong with that, but she's like flirting with she's flirting with one of the people who works at the front desk, and then eventually the like singer Mia, she like ends up like getting with her. Well, the actress who plays that, she was in the opening ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, the Olympics are taking place in Milan. Milan Cortina is the official name because it's Milan, but also like some of the mountainous areas around the city. So we watched that, and then obviously getting super into sports that I know nothing about. I am now an expert in obviously figure skating, luge, curling,
of course,
several sports. I know everything about that. So if you have any questions, come to me.
I will let the folks know. I have my TV on here. Got the four box, 3 college basketball games, and the NBC broadcast of the Olympics. Right now, I'm looking at. I think this is downhill skiing of some sort.
Is it a like slalom activity, or is it?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I just I see people on skis coming down a hill. That's all.
So I will say that one of what we got Peacock for this month just so we could, because my wife and I both like just love get really into the Olympics, and so I've been enjoying Gold Zone, which is basically red zone for the Olympics. It's like, now we're going to take you out to this game. Now we're going to take you out to this. So that's been pretty fantastic. I'll have it up at work while I'm doing stuff, catching up.
Supposed to be working.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like George under my desk.
One of my somebody I follow on Twitter, who's like mostly tweets about like movies and stuff. She tweeted today. She's like, "You may not know this about me, but I am a hockey fan. So like I've been watching women's hockey all day at work."
The U.S. is just like crushing people right now. Like the U.S. women's team, they like they were up 4-0 on Canada when I saw it.
Wow!
Like they've just been like destroying teams. So love to see it. Patriotism, go America, USA.
Got to support the team.
So that's what I've been up to. It's basically just been, football is over, so now my main focus for now is going to be the Olympics for the next 2 weeks.
While you have Peacock for the month, you can check out The Office if you want.
That's true.
So, or Parks and Rec, or any of your favorite, well, except for Seinfeld. I would say any of your favorite.
Seinfeld's on Netflix, yeah. That's right.
Seinfeld's on Netflix. Friends is on, where's Friends? Friends is on HBO, I think.
Are they on
HBO Max?
Friends used to be on Netflix. I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah, I think they're on Mac. Well, I think they're on Mac. I remember when they first went to Max, it was a big deal. Like Max used that as like a big selling point. It was like, hey, watch all the Friends.
I could never get into Friends. Just not for me.
Yeah. My wife, when I first met my wife, we binged watched 2 shows. And this was like the old school binge where you had the DVDs. Like they weren't back in my day. We didn't have
watch 4 episodes, take the disc out,
take the disc out. Yep.
And then binge 4 more episodes.
And she had the complete series of Friends and MASH. So that was, if it not for my wife, I probably would have gotten around to watch them. But yeah, she introduced me to both of those shows. So. And I did watch Friends after watching Seinfeld. Like I had just finished binging Seinfeld when I started. friends.
So that's that was it for me. So over to you, Paul.
Okay. So I mentioned last week we were talking about the Oscars a little bit, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago because that's when the nominations came out. I had, of the 10 films nominated for Best Picture, I had yet to see 3 of them. I knocked 2 of them out this week. So first up is Hamnet. So the big story out of this is that Jessie Buckley, who's the lead actress, is nominated for Best Lead Actress. She will probably win, based on what I saw. I think Rose Byrne has a good chance for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, but Jessie Buckley in Hamnet is just on another level. I will also say, I think One Battle After Another is going to win Best Picture. I am personally rooting for Sinners. I actually have a wager on that. But if it's neither one of those 2 films, I hope it's Hamnet, because it's really a beautiful film. For those that don't know, it's basically the story of how Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. I don't know. Now, I haven't read into like how true it is. It's based on a novel. I can't get into the whole historical accuracies or inaccuracies of the.
I do know that Shakespeare did write Hamlet, so that much is true.
Right? Yes. And Shakespeare is played by Paul Mescal. Folks might we talked about him I think a couple weeks ago because he will be playing Paul McCartney in the upcoming Beatles movies that are coming out.
Is he the one from Normal People?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not seen Normal People, but yeah, I know. He also was in Gladiator 2. He was.
He does, I will say in Normal People, he does have it out. So just be aware.
Good to know.
If you ever watch it.
And then the other one that I watched, the other Best Picture nominee that I watched is The Secret Agent. This is a Brazilian film. And the big story out of this one is that lead actor, Wagner Moura, who is nominated for Best Actor. And he might have a chance, honestly. I think it's going to be Chalamet running away with it for Marty Supreme. But this is a very good movie. If you get a chance to see it, I had to rent it through Fandango at home. Or used to be called Vudu, VUDU. But
where does it rank in the Brazilian movies that you've watched recently?
That's good. That's good.
Where does it?
It's not quite City of God, but it's not far. Like it's not a far. What I will say about I didn't really know a lot about the movie. I just knew that it was nominated for Best Picture. It's a very good movie. Now I will say it's a bit long. It's like almost 3 hours long. So take that into
that's a commitment
consideration. That's a commitment. I don't think it'll win Best Picture. Actually, while we're talking about this, so the only movie I have yet to see is Sentimental Value, which has been garnering a lot of praise. But what I will do is let me pull up my rankings as I have them right now. So right now I would say One Battle After Another, Sinners are kind of tier 1. And then Hamnet, Train Dreams are like tier 2, like maybe a one level below. Mm-hmm. And then like Marty Supreme, Begonia, Secret Agent are like tier 3. F1 and Frankenstein, I just don't see either of those having a chance.
F1 got a nomination because it's the box office
popcorn movie. Yeah, it's a popcorn movie. Yeah. Now, again, I have not seen Sentimental Value. I hope to watch it this week. I will try to watch it this week. I've been hearing a lot of good things. I'm guessing, I don't want to say, but I'm guessing it's going to end up in one of those top tiers based on what I've been hearing. But we'll see. I'll try to report back next week. And then I also watched, this movie was not nominated for anything, but it's the new Naked Gun that stars Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. And it's not the original, like but it comes pretty close. It's about as close as you can get to.
I heard
the
good
original.
Things. I actually heard good things about it, which is like good when someone does a remake.
There's a
like
lot of good. There's a lot of good. The the best thing that it does in trying to achieve what the original did is a lot of like wordplay and a lot of the like the quick one-liners and stuff like that really works well.
It's like Airplane too. Like this.
Yes. Yeah.
We got to get him to a hospital. Yeah. Doctor, what is it?
Yeah. It's a big building with patients. And, yeah. So there's a few moments like that. And Liam Neeson, he knocked it out of the park. I kind of hope they do another one. But if they didn't, I wouldn't either way, I wouldn't be like too disappointed. Like if they did another one, I'd probably see it. If they didn't do another one, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. And then Cinechum's Challenge, the Denzel edition, this ongoing effort to watch all 52 Denzel movies based on a theme from Cinechum's Challenge. So for this week 7 of the challenge, the theme is husbands and wives. So this is another one that when I first read the prompt, I thought, I don't know if I can make this work. But then I ended up finding a film. However, I think I may have handicapped myself moving forward. So let me explain. So the prompt goes as follows. The basic prompt is, watch a film about married or long-term partners. Key here is an existing relationship that forms one of the main plot threads where events of the film actively affect the couple and their relationship. And the examples they give are like The Shining, Eyes Wide Shut, Marriage Story, like those kind of movies. So what I ended up watching is a movie called The Preacher's Wife. It's from 1996. Stars Denzel. So Denzel is not one of the married persons in this movie. The married couple is Whitney Houston, the late great Whitney Houston, and Courtney Vance, who folks might remember Courtney Vance as Johnny Cochran from the People vs. O.J. Simpson series that came out several years ago now, almost 10 years ago now, probably. They are a married couple. Courtney P. Vance plays a preacher, and Whitney Houston is his wife. There we go, preacher's wife. It is a remake, I believe, of a like I think a 1950s movie. It's called The Bishop's Wife, which is kind of so basically the idea here is Courtney B. Vance one day prays to God for help because he's got a lot going on in his life, and Denzel Washington, who is an angel, comes down to earth to provide the help. It's kind of almost like It's a Wonderful Life type.
I was gonna say Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, that too. It's kind of that. But so Denzel obviously plays a key role in the film, but he's not. I would say the main part of the film. My biggest takeaway from this movie was Whitney Houston could sing, man. My God, could she sing? Because she sings throughout the movie, just in various settings. Like she sings at the church, she sings at a jazz club at one point. Man, she could sing. My goodness. And Denzel's very good, very charming in the movie. Now, my concern is if we get down the road and the category becomes watch a Christmas theme or a holiday theme movie, ooh, this is my one bullet for that, I think. So I can't think of another holiday movie that Denzel's in.
That's a good point.
So I
meant to say when you said Whitney Houston can sing, I meant to say little known fact.
Little known fact. Yeah.
Like
she was good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like it was like Tony Gonzalez. Did you know he used to play basketball?
Yeah.
Antonio Gates. He used to play.
He used to play basketball. So what I was kicking myself when I first read the challenge, I was kicking myself because I thought if I had waited and watched Fences this week, because Fences would have fit perfectly, because in that movie, Denzel is married to Viola Davis, and but it is what it is. So Preacher's Wife, that was week 7. It's a good film. If you haven't seen it, or if you saw it, but it's been a while, check it out if you can.
I should mention before I meant to mention this when we were talking about Hamnet, but I am trying to read through all of the original Shakespeare plays before this year.
Have you read any of those books, by the way?
The goal is to do it by my birthday, by the time I turn 40. So that's like that's the goal. So I've gotten through 13 out of 36.
Okay.
Still got a little ways to go. 90 pages.
Yeah, 100 pages.
I'll just watch the movie.
Well, I actually, the kind of a sidebar. Somebody had a list on Letterboxd. It's like, go ahead.
You could have done You could have done Macbeth for this movie too, by the way.
Oh shoot, I could have. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's a husband and wife. Like that's the whole.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Man,
dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
I totally. God, see, I knew I should have. I know I was missing one.
Macbeth, not a Christmas movie though.
No, not a Christmas movie. No.
That's going to be that's not going to.
I will say, the one thing about that though, I have watched Tragedy of Macbeth within the last. So I've been trying to, if I can, watch like newer stuff, like stuff I haven't seen before.
Right.
So maybe that's why subconsciously I didn't think about it. But
fair enough.
That's a goof on my part. But no, what I was going to say, you're talking about Shakespeare. I found a list on Letterboxd. It's like unconventional trilogies. So like 3 movies that are connected, but not like, not like it's nothing. It's not like Terminator 1, 2, 3, like that kind of stuff. And Akira Kurosawa, who's a very famed Japanese director, he had a trilogy of Shakespeare adaptations. Not like straightforward, not like pure adaptations, but like kind of, I guess more inspired by adaptations, if that makes sense. So had a movie called Throne of Blood, which was an adaptation of, was that that
may be Macbeth. That sounds like a Macbeth.
That might be a Macbeth. That might have been Macbeth. The Bad Sleepwell is a Hamlet. It's a story of a guy who's trying to avenge his father's death and all that.
Yeah, so I'm reading the Throne of Blood tells the story of a warrior who assassinates his sovereign at the urging of his ambitious wife. So there you go. That's Macbeth. Yeah, that's Macbeth. And then I'm trying to remember. The other one is a movie called I believe. So it's spelled R-A-N. So I believe it's pronounced Ran. And that is based on King Lear.
Ooh. So there's a king who wants to divide his kingdom up among his 3 sons. But one of the sons one of the sons doesn't want any part of it. And so King Lear I'm looking forward to. King Lear is supposed to be like the pinnacle, like the best of the best. So I'm going through the comedies right now. Let me tell you, the histories kind of suck. So let me ask you this. So we talked about, I could have watched Tragedy of Macbeth for the Denzel Challenge. He's also in an adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing. Would that have counted? Or no? I haven't read that one. That's like next on my list because I'm leaving. What am I reading? Measure for Measure. And so Much Ado About Nothing is coming up on the list. Okay. So, because I considered that one, but like I didn't want to my biggest thing is like, I don't want to watch something and then I post it like, hey, I watched this, and people are like, wait, that doesn't count. Yeah. Which, I mean, they don't really do, there's not a lot of gatekeeping on this thing. It's not like it's not like you go to the website and say, hey, I watched this, and they're like, sorry, that doesn't count, or anything like that. Right. It's more,
They're trying to be inclusive here.
Yeah, exactly. And then, okay, last but not least here, quick Seinfeld connection. So I've been doing this last couple of weeks. I wanted to watch something that is connected to Seinfeld. I watched the 1995 Rob Reiner. Of course, we recently lost Mr. Reiner. Watched a film that he did called The American President, which parenthetically is my mom's, I think it's my mom's favorite film of all time. I remember watching this a lot with her. So this movie came out in 95. That was the year I turned 11. So this is one of the first DVDs I remember my mom actually wanting and owning. For those that don't know, this stars Michael Douglas as Andrew Shepard, who is the president of the United States, but he is a widower. His wife had passed away while he was campaigning, running for president. And then he meets a lobbyist played by Annette Bening. They develop a romance, and then that leads to complications for both of them politically. But it's kind of like it's a sneaky rom-com. Like on surface, you'd think, okay, this is going to end up like Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail, like those traditional rom-coms. But it's it's also kind of a political movie too.
I think I've seen this movie, but it's been like it's one of those like I think I've it's been a long time. It looks very familiar.
What I will say, and one of the reasons I wanted to watch it, is the speech that Michael Douglas gives at the end of this movie is one of the like let's effing go speeches that like nobody talks about it. I don't hear people talking about it, but it's like run through a brick wall type stuff. So check it out if you have a chance. It's on Netflix right now. That's how I watched it. But quick Seinfeld. So a couple Seinfeld connections here. So first of all, Rob Reiner himself. So Rob Reiner founded Castle Rock Entertainment. Castle Rock is the studio that produced Seinfeld for a number of years. So without Castle Rock, there would have been no Seinfeld. Then two actors, or actresses. Wendy Malick, who you might remember from the Kiss Hello episode. She is, I think her character's name is Wendy in that episode. She is the delicate genius that
with the big hair.
With the big hair that always wants to give Jerry a kiss hello, and he's trying to get off the kiss hello program, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other, so in the movie, Michael Douglas is the president. His chief of staff is played by Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen's wife is played by Gail Strickland, who, this is another one of those like Toby things where like the minute she started talking, I'm like, wait a minute. I know this person. Like I know so I looked her up and she is Jocelyn Landis of Doubleday. This is the woman that borrows the racket.
She has grace. You can't have just a little. You can't have just a little grace. You either have it or you don't.
Right. She's the one who borrows Mr. Pitt's racket for a match with. Was it Ethel? No, Pitt. Mr. Pitt had a match with Ethel Kennedy, and then anyway, but Landis borrows the racket, messes up her condylitis or whatever the injury was that she has. And then Elaine feels bad, so she can't take the racket back. And Jerry's like, but you loaned her the racket. So anyway, American President, classic.
Two thumbs up from Paul.
Definitely a that would probably be a Gene and a Vincent pick, honestly. I think they both would find merit in that film. Okay, so real quick before we transition to the next part here. So I know we're talking offline, and I think we talked a little on the show last week about we got to figure out what we're going to do during the off season. Obviously, we'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about free agency as that stuff comes along. We'll talk about the Olympics probably here next couple of weeks. The idea I had, and I wanted to run it by you, and I'll run it by you now. So obviously a couple weeks ago, we both watched City of God, gave our thoughts on it. I think we can potentially do a similar thing. We both watch a movie.
Okay.
And then we discuss it the next week. But with the added caveat that the movie have some connection to Seinfeld.
Okay.
So nominate for next week that you and I both watch the original Christopher Reeve Superman.
Okay.
From 1978, I think.
Where is this available?
It's on HBO Max. Do you have HBO Max?
I do have HBO Max.
Okay, so it's there. It's available there. You can also watch the newer Superman if you'd like. That's also there.
Newer.
The connection here is Jerry, obviously, in the show. I'm not sure in real life, but I know in the show, Jerry was a huge Superman fan. They actually played the Superman theme in one of the episodes, in the race episode, as he's running against Duncan Meyer. The other reason I wanted to nominate this film is John Williams, the composer, not the running back that we talked about a couple weeks ago. He just celebrated a birthday on Super Bowl Sunday. This past Sunday was his, I believe, it was 94 years young for Mr. Williams. And he obviously composed the Superman theme, so I figured that would be a good.
So Jerry
start.
is a big Superman fan in real life too.
In real life. Okay.
Yes.
I thought so, but I couldn't remember.
By the way,
because I know
go ahead.
Because I know in the show he kind of is a Yankees fan, but in real life he's a Mets fan.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess in the show he's
a Mets fan in the
because of Keith Hernandez, right.
So he was at Game 6. He was also when in the first episode when he comes home to watch the game, Kramer's like,
that's right,
or Kessler technically is, the Mets really blew it today.
Oh, Kessler, it's a day.
So is that there's talking about the Mets with the naked guy on the subway was another thing.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you're right. Okay, I don't know why I thought in the show he was. I mean, obviously George worked for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. On Rules of Engagement, David Puddy's character on that show, Jeff Bingham, is also a big Mets fan in that show.
Oh.
So there's that too. There's one episode where he gets into an argument with a woman about the Mets and the Yankees. And so he's like, oh, your team just buys a pennant every year. And she's like, well, and she starts naming players, and she's like, they were all homegrown. And he's like, yeah, you're smoking some homegrown. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there's that. So fun fact, Gail Strickland also guest appearance on MASH, season 9.
Okay, that's a later season. I don't remember those as well. I'm sure it was a fine performance. I just don't recall it. All right, you want to talk a little football here?
Yeah, I guess we can talk about
we can talk a little football. Before we get to the Super Bowl, I do want to. We've gone through.
Well,
I think last week we talked.
Should we wrap up the season and then move on to the offseason?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. So, obviously, Super Bowl 60 was this past Sunday. Congratulations to our good friend Trang, our Seahawks.
Congratulations to me. Congratulations to me who bet the
Seahawks
yeah. Finally, a good bet, a good futures bet for me. Finally, I made one.
Seahawks 29, Patriots 13. This game was never that close.
No, it never felt that close. Yeah, we need to play the sound clip, but I'm going to have to take George's side on this one because the Drake is bad. Drake was bad.
I don't even like Drake.
You don't like the Drake?
I hate the Drake.
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
Oh.
The Drake was not good in this one.
The Drake was not good in this one. Yeah, it was just rough sledding from the get-go for him.
Well, was it Will Campbell was not having a good time out there. The Seahawks
at the beginning
everything.
At the beginning of the show when you were trying to get the music to work, I said, "Oh, our music's like Will Campbell. He doesn't want to work today."
Yeah,
doesn't want to work today. Now it was revealed today. Will Campbell did come out today and said he injured his knee at some point during the season. So he was not 100%. He didn't use that as an excuse, but He just, for full context.
Thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd be really worried about the future of my offensive line going forward.
Well, I mean, as someone pointed out, I was listening today, Pat's fan pointed out, you know, when you spend the number 4 pick in the draft on a guy, kind of need to see a little bit more from him than that. Hopefully he's back healthy next year for them.
Well, I do want to give a little bit of credit to because the Seahawks basically took the Patriots offense and just completely neutralized it outside of a couple of plays on a couple of drives, but they were getting pressure. They were sending guys. You could see they were sending safeties and cornerbacks into the gaps, and then roll. The coverage was really good. There were a couple of Drake held the ball a lot, but there were also times when you'd see it and he there was nowhere to go with the ball because the Seahawks defensive backs were matched up perfectly there.
Yeah, and I guess credit goes to your former Cowboy defensive assistant. What was his name? The British guy, Dirty. No,
yeah.
Who he might be following Kubiak. We talked about this last week. He might be following Kubiak to Vegas, but not sure. That's not official. Kubiak is officially the head coach of the Raiders. That is official. And I thought Kubiak called a pretty good game. I mean, obviously Kenneth Walker helps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he's running the ball like he was.
Well, we should give some credit to. I think the Patriots defense actually did a good job of keeping them in this game for a little while because they were also getting pressure on Darnold. He missed a couple of passes, like the JSN one where he had to avoid pressure, and then JSN sneaks out and he just overthrew him. But I think Darnold was basically I'm not going to make a mistake here. He try to squeeze a couple of passes into tight windows, but I think you saw at one point he was 5 out of 14, and it was basically he's just not going to. He wasn't taking sacks like the Drake was he wasn't taking the negative plays.
It did feel a little play not to lose
mm-hmm.
on the part of Darnold and maybe on the part of Kubiak. But yeah, no. So you and I both had a little side wager on Walker's under on his rushing yards, and he was over by halftime. He had the 2 big runs.
He had 2 big runs that were almost back to back, and I was like, okay, that's over. That's a loss.
That's that. But yeah, no. To your point about the Patriots defense, I mean, Christian Gonzalez was all over the field.
He may have saved a touchdown 2 different times, on 2 different plays.
And who's the safety? Woodson? Not Darren Woodson.
No, but he was a defensive back. I don't know if he was.
Oh, he's a defensive back. Okay.
I don't know if he was a safety or corner, but he also played well.
Maybe I just assume if his last name's Woodson, he's a safety.
Right. I thought at one point I was given how this game is going, when I think it was 12-0, and Christian Gonzalez had already batted down 2 or 3 passes, and I was maybe Christian Gonzalez deserves the MVP because it was hard to find anybody outside of the
I texted you at one point and said it might be Devon Witherspoon because he had did he have 2 sacks or he had?
I mean, they had him flying. I don't know if he had 2 sacks.
They had him flying around. A couple
of pressures. Well, there was another defensive lineman who did have 2 sacks for the Seahawks, and I can't remember.
Oh yeah, Hall, Derek Hall.
That's it. Yes, he had.
Yeah.
At one point, you're maybe he deserves to be the MVP.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember who returned the touchdown. Your guy, DeMarcus Lawrence, caused the fumble,
mm-hmm.
but I don't remember who actually returned. It wasn't Derek Hall. It was someone else who I'd not heard of.
I don't remember who that was either. But that game eventually turned into it, because I think it was 19-0, and then the Patriots had 2 big plays, got into the end zone. It's 19-7, and then that play happens, and it's okay, this game is over. Maybe the Patriots had found something. The Patriots had not found something. I think the Athletic Football Show said at one point they started just spamming runs to the Travion Henderson, and there's at this point it's okay, you very clearly have nothing at this point.
Yeah. And again, credit to Mike McDonald, excuse me.
Former
and
former member of the Doobie Brothers.
Former member of the Doobie Brothers. And you know, my favorite narrative coming out of this game is like Baltimore Ravens fans got to be kicking themselves for letting him leave the building. It's like, well, I mean, were they really going to fire Harbaugh at that point to promote McDonald? I mean, he was
true.
You know, I mean, listen, I'm not, you know, obviously it's easy to play the result, you know, kind of thing, that kind of game, but you know, hey, good for McDonald. Do you want to quickly recap our little prop bets that we had here?
Yeah, let me pull it up because I was about to open the document.
Well, I got it.
You got it?
I've got it pulled up. I've got it pulled up if you want me to go through it.
Yeah, go ahead because I know.
So
I know
we did.
So I will say the touchdown pass to Barner, like you could see that the Patriots were very clearly funneling coverage to JSN and a couple of other, and so like Barner was one of the big he was one of the key targets, and I said I think Paul has a chance to hit on this because of the way that they were covering.
I initially when he scored, I'm like, oh, did I pick him for first touchdown or for any time?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so yeah, let's go through it real quick. So we both had the Patriots winning the coin toss, so we both got that at minus 105. I had the national anthem under. You had the over. I get the under at minus 110. How under did it go?
It was 157.
And 2 minutes was the number?
Yeah. I think it was 159 and a half. But he started it and I was like, oh, this is going over but then he kind of like got into it he picked it up in the middle.
I think I missed it. I was doing some other stuff, trying to get ready to, you know, so I could watch the game uninterrupted. First touchdown scorer. So we both had Patriots. I had Ramondre Stevenson. You had Butte. So neither one of those hit. I, as we just mentioned, anytime touchdown scorer, I had Barner at plus 240. You had Travion, who came close, right? Didn't he come close to a touchdown?
I think he did at one point. I think they tried to
but it got called back or something.
Yeah, something happened. I feel like he did have a chance at one.
Okay, I had the Seahawks money line minus 225. You had the Patriots money line. We both had Patriots plus 4.5, so no dice there. We both hit on the under 45.5. It got testy there a little bit.
It looked like a very clear under, and then Kenneth Walker has that touchdown run for like 40 yards, and they're like, oh, That's it. And then they called it back for holding, so that saved it.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking of, yeah. So we both got the under. For MVP, I had the Drake. Sorry, Drake. You had Sam Darnold, so neither one of us got that. I'm going to skip this next one here. We'll finish this next one for last. On a safety, so we both had no safety, which hit at minus 2,000.
I needed a safety to get my Super Bowl squares because
you did.
I actually needed the safety at that point. I told one of my coworkers, I was like, when you're cheering for a safety, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Quick sidebar. When you texted me that the national anthem went under, I was telling my wife, and my wife's like, how much of a degenerate do you have to be to be bad? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Who would do that?
Who would ever do that? 2-point conversion. We both said yes, so neither one of us were right there.
They attempted one, by the way.
They did attempt one, but they did not convert. I got the Gatorade color.
You did.
I had yellow, lime, green, so at plus 260. You had blue. And I was kind of proud of this one. 4th down conversion. I said no, and it hit at plus 360. You said yes at minus 530. It did not hit. Now, we saved this one for last because This was Cardi B wearing a Stephon Diggs jersey. We both had yes at plus 170. We were neither of us were right, and apparently that relationship is no longer.
If she was wearing a Stephon Diggs jersey to start the game, she was definitely not wearing it by the time it ended. Nope. So
I don't know the full story. I don't know if you know the full.
So what I heard. And I read it. So what I read on Twitter.
Brandon is reporting this.
My sources have told me that she went to the game and found out that his other baby mama was there with front row seats. Mm-mm. And so she did not care for that. She decided that she had enough, and then she left at halftime. From the way I understand it.
So for those keeping score at home, Brandon's advice to you is do not invite your other baby mama
to the Super Bowl.
Don't invite both baby mamas. No, you can only do one baby mama.
Yeah,
only one.
Only get one.
Only get one. That's sound advice.
Story.
Sage advice.
So I don't know if you've ever heard this, but apparently there was, I don't remember what team it was, but he was on a team, and the social media team, I think it was a social media team, but they went up to every player in the locker room and they asked him, it was like, if you had a sister, who would you not let them date? And everybody said Stephon Diggs. And so
I remember this. It was a video, right? It was like
yeah.
It was like it wasn't the Bills. It might have been the Texans, actually.
Was it it wasn't the Vikings?
Could have been the Vikings. I know it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Bills. But I feel like it was the Texans, though.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, that I do remember that prescient words.
That tells you that should tell you everything you need to know about Stephon.
Yep. So real quick, before we do kind of talk about some news and notes and kind of transition into the non-playing season, as it's called, our good friends over at Rebet, they've got odds for next year's Super Bowl. Would you like to know some of the odds here?
Is the favorite?
Well, okay. Go ahead.
Can I guess the favorite? Try to guess the favorite.
Yeah, well, I was going to say guess the favorite, and then guess what the Cowboys' number is.
Okay, so we'll start with the favorite, Chiefs. Ooh, really?
Chiefs are actually pretty far down, honestly. The Patriots have better odds than the Chiefs.
Is it the Seahawks to repeat?
Seahawks. Well, okay, so the Seahawks are tied.
Okay,
for a favorite.
Okay.
So there's technically at plus 950. So there's
Buffalo,
another team.
Buffalo.
Buffalo is 11-1.
Baltimore
is 13-1.
So what is
think same division as the Seahawks.
Rams?
Yep. The Rams and Seahawks are both plus 950 according to Rebet. Now, obviously, you go to other books, might be different, but.
Okay, so
here's your top 10. I'll give you your top 10.
Okay.
The Cowboys are not in the top 10, so I'll let you guess that one. So you got Rams and Seahawks at plus 950. You've got the Bills at 11-1, Ravens, Eagles, and Patriots at 13-1. The Packers and Lions at 14-1. The Chiefs and the Chargers at 15-1. 49ers right behind them, Broncos, Texans. You want to go ahead and guess the Cowboys number.
30-1.
Close, 35-1.
Okay. I was debating whether to go 35, but right in the middle part of the curve, right?
Just for context, right above them are, so they're 35-1. Right above them are the Bengals at 25-1, the Bears at 25-1, the Jaguars are 22-1, the Texans are 19-1. So that's kind of the company that the Cowboys are in right now. They have better odds than the Bucks, the Steelers, the Colts. Those odds now you're getting Steelers are 60-1 Steelers and Colts are 60-1. So now you're getting into like the deep end of the pool. The Saints are 100-1 to win the Super Bowl next year.
Okay. I will say
same odds as the Panthers and the Titans for what it's worth.
Okay. Pretty far down there.
And I think I spoiled this for you, but the worst odds are the Cardinals and the Dolphins at 240-1.
I will say my money is on the Patriots taking a step back next year and not being as amazing as they were this year, just because I think we kind of saw what happens when they played to like it wasn't just this game. It was kind of throughout the playoffs. They played a bunch of really good defenses and they won, especially partially because in the Texans game, CJ Stroud just handed the ball over and became the worst quarterback of all time for especially the first half. And then against the Broncos, I mean, at the end of the game, it was a snowstorm, but also Jared Stidham basically handed them their only touchdown. And then once they got up against another really good defense, they just got pummeled. And so
the Patriots' schedule next year, they obviously have to play Bills, Dolphins, Jets twice. They have the AFC West and the NFC North.
Ooh. Good luck with
that. Two of the better divisions, I would say, in football.
So they will not be playing. They will not be playing the top 10 teams in the draft this year, or
no. Well,
every team that got fired their coach or the Jets, I think was a lot,
right? And then you add to that, they'll obviously have to play the Steelers because the Steelers were the division winner of the North. In the AFC, they'll have to play the Jaguars because they were the division winner of the South. And then their extra game, I'm looking to see, what is their extra game? Is it the Seahawks? Yeah, it's the Seahawks.
Oh, Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah, because we talked about this. I said if the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, they might as well just run it back for the season opener.
Right.
But the way that game turned out, I don't think
they want to do that. Well, I mean, so we kind of got the same game in back-to-back years as NFC team with awesome defense crushes.
I think here are my top three. Well, I'll do top four candidates for the first game of the year for the Seahawks. I think it goes in no particular order: Bears, Chiefs, Cowboys, Patriots. I think those are your
Seahawks. Well,
I mean, Cowboy. You know, people would watch if it's the Cowboys. Right. Like if it's like, let's be honest. Like if the Cowboys go out and make some moves, they re-sign Pickens, they bring.
I mean, the defense becomes competent.
Right. I mean, I would. I mean, I think it's either the Cowboys or the Bears are probably your top two candidates. Chiefs maybe, depending on what happens with Mahomes and if he's back healthy.
He may not be back for the start of the season.
It sounds like he will be. Rehab's going well from what I've heard. So
ACLs aren't because it used to be like it was a full like a 1 year, like 12 months. Now it's more of like a 8-month sort of injury.
The other thing I'll say for the Chiefs in their favor is the NFL can position it as defending Super Bowl champion against the dynasty from the last, the most recent dynasty, I guess,
right.
if that makes sense. So like the Seahawks just beat the Patriots, who had a dynasty. Now they're going to open the season against the Chiefs, who are kind of the modern dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That one wouldn't surprise me if they chose that route. Speaking of the schedule, we found out this week that we have. Let me do a quick count here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 international games next season. So it's already been announced. We talked a little bit about this last week, but the Australia game. So the teams have been announced. It will be Rams 49ers. And I'm pretty sure I saw that this will be week 1, which makes sense. I don't think you can make two teams in the middle of a season just go to Australia. That would be
right.
odd
Or unfair.
But it looks like it'll be Rams 40. I don't know who the home team will be in that scenario, but it'll be Rams 49ers. The Saints, I think we mentioned this a little bit last week. The Saints will host the first game in Paris. I've been seeing it's going to be against the Browns. That's not official, but
okay.
that's what it looks like it'll be. The part of that suggestion is if you watch the video the Cleveland Browns sent out when Todd Monken got the job, and they showed him like arriving at the facility, and then he talked to Shedeur Sanders. One of the things Monken said to Shedeur Sanders was, "How was Europe?" And the thought is that Shedeur was in Europe doing work for this game, getting some buzz going, whatever. So there's that. Then we have a game in Madrid, Spain, for the second year in a row, I believe. The Dolphins Commanders, I think, was in Madrid this past year.
Do you think Derek Carr was also in Paris doing some scouting for the Saints a couple of years ago?
Stop it.
He was there.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him in a minute. We also have the NFL returns to Mexico City, at formerly the Azteca Stadium. I will not pronounce what it's now called. I don't want to disrespect our friends in Mexico.
Oh, we should have talked about the halftime show. Did you watch?
So I saw a little bit of it. I had to get some chores done, so I chose halftime as the best time to do it. So no disrespect to Bad Bunny, but I did see a little bit of the show, and it looked great. Like it looked
They did a good job with the visuals. The music was not for me.
Okay. I did see Miss Gaga was there.
Did you see
the Lady Gaga?
Did you see that there were people posting, it was like white people trying to understand Bad Bunny, and then it's like Mexican people trying to understand Bad Bunny, because apparently like they can't understand him either, because like Puerto Rican Spanish is like they slur a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so like they don't like it. It's like it's not just the way the
had a former coworker who was I had a former coworker who was a big Bad Bunny fan. I meant to text her to ask what her thoughts were.
Is that like a Big Bad Wolf fan? A Big Bad Bunny?
Yeah, right.
Someone the other day said they went down a Bad Bunny rabbit hole, and I said pun intended, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't even realize."
Right. Yep. Alice went down a Bad Bunny rabbit hole too, and she
did.
Okay, so your team, Cowboys, it looks like will be the Gauchos, because they're going to be playing in Rio de Janeiro.
So I did try to look up the word Cowboys in Portuguese. And I don't think it's Gauchos, because it just said Cowboys.
No, that's
it's Argentina where they're the Gauchos. So,
is that? Oh, my apologies.
Yeah. Come on, Paul.
But anyway,
you're losing our Spanish audience.
Yeah, no. El Stupido, as they're calling me now. Yeah, so it looks like the Cowboys are. Have you? You would probably know this better than I. This is confirmed that they are the team hosting the game in Brazil.
Yes, what I've seen is that they are losing a home game for this
at I almost said Macarena, Americana. We're never getting those Spanish listeners back.
No, they're not. The Puerto Rican Day Parade.
And then there'll be another game in Munich, Germany. I guess it'll be Raiders Jets, because Germany know what they did. They know what they did.
That's right.
And then 3 games, not 1, not 2, but 3 games in London. One of those games will be hosted by the Jaguars, as is tradition at this point. At least one of those games, maybe more. Who knows? I think there's going to be 1 at Wembley Stadium and 2 at Tottenham. I think is how they break it out. Tottenham. So yeah. So you know what? You know what's good about this? There'll be half of the regular season in the NFL will start at like 7:00 our time.
There we go.
So now the Australia game, I don't know about that. That one, because Australia is like 24 hours ahead of us. I don't know, are they like 20?
It'll start on a different day.
Right. Let's see. Melbourne, Australia.
Australia, mate. Beer.
So
Australian.
We are
Foster's Australian for beer.
We are recording currently at 8:48 p.m. Central Time. It is 1:48 p.m. Australian time. So that's 17 hours ahead?
That's a lot of math,
I think.
Paul.
I think it's 17 hours ahead.
Yeah, because it's 7 back, basically.
So if they started the game at 7:00 our time, that would be
noon their time.
Noon their time, yes. Which that would work, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's how it.
That would.
We're gonna be watching a day game at night. That's gonna be the weird thing.
Or yeah, I guess they could do that too if you did. If you started at, because they've announced that it's going to be week 1. They just haven't. Maybe they do it on the Friday night. Like, so if it's 7:00 at night our time, that's noon
Thursday for them.
No, on Friday. So it's Friday here. It'd be noon Saturday there, right? Well, we'll figure it out. We got to get our rods and cones.
Going to need to see that chart.
So yeah, so fun stuff. At least, like I said, that would be my guess. Is that's going to be the Friday? They'll have the Thursday night. Now we did talk about this, and I haven't heard anybody else really mention this, but the Seahawks may have a problem with the Mariners because the Mariners have a home date on that Thursday. That'll probably be the first Thursday of the NFL season, and they share a parking lot. So I haven't heard anybody say that, like, oh, the Seahawks may not get to open at home this year. That happened to the Ravens some years ago after their Super Bowl win. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens from that perspective. If the Seahawks did start on the road, just for yucks, I will tell you their road opponents, not counting their division opponents, are the Broncos, the Raiders, the Rams, or the Eagles, the 49ers, the Commanders, and the Panthers. I guess 49. So it won't be 49ers or Rams because they're playing in Australia. I think you're not going to like it when I say this, but I mean, you could do Seahawks Eagles. The 2 previous Super Bowl champs play each other to start the season.
I'd love to see the Seahawks just beat the tar out of the Eagles to open the season, Paul.
I know you would. So I don't know, just something to think about. Let's talk a little coaching carousel here. We did talk about the head coaches last week. So all head coaching jobs are filled. We're still filling out some offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator stuff.
I should go ahead and point out that that Christian Parker is kind of hiring most of his defensive staff now, and I'm really impressed because it looks like they will let him go out and I guess I'm sure Schottenheimer kind of had some input on it, but it looks like he was able to. The guys that they hired are very good, very exciting names.
They hired the nephew of your guy Muschamp.
Yeah, I did see
Will
that.
Muschamp's nephew. Yeah,
they saw that. I think one of the guys that I'm most excited about is the defensive line coach that they got, Marcus Dixon from Minnesota, who's been with been with the Vikings, the Broncos. He's been with a couple of different places. I know they hired somebody from Georgia too, like a linebackers.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
I did see that.
Very excited about that.
I didn't mention this last week, but the Buccaneers hired a new offensive coordinator to replace Josh Grizzard, who was let go.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually now with the Eagles as like a passing game something or other. Yeah, but the Buccaneers stayed in the division and hired Zach Robinson, who was the Falcons offensive coordinator
I was like,
last year.
I know that
obviously,
name
Obviously, the Falcons redid their whole staff with Stefanski and Tommy Rees. So Zach Robinson now is the offensive coordinator and play caller in Tampa. Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh, still no offensive coordinator, at least that I've seen, but he did hire Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator. Patrick Graham was with the Raiders previously as their defensive coordinator.
That's a pretty good hire, I would think, right? He's a pretty
I think so.
Competent.
Yeah, and I imagine whoever the Steelers hire as their offensive coordinator, McCarthy's going to be the play caller. So
I would think so. Most likely,
he did interview 2 Saints assistants. I talked about this last week,
Tolzien
and Hazlitt.
Do you think because of his time with Kellen, he might try to go after somebody? I guess Scott Tolzien was actually with him when he was in Dallas. So
as a player too, because I think Tolzien played for the Packers back in.
That's right.
Back when he was a player.
That would make a lot of sense.
But yeah, he made
a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is what I talked about last week. It's nice as a Saints fan that people want our coaches, but it's even nicer that they're saying, no, let's stay in New Orleans and let's build what we've got here. The other news with the Steelers is that Aaron Rodgers looks like he might be back, baby.
I am so happy because this would be him and McCarthy back together for one more season would be fantastic.
I called it. Did I not?
You did.
Did I not say on this show? I said if they want Rodgers to come back one year, which I didn't say they were, but like it'd be interesting if they hired McCarthy and then Rodgers came back for a farewell.
It felt more to me
season.
like if they brought McCarthy and then Aaron Rodgers would say, because that relationship didn't end well.
Didn't end.
No.
Yeah, it didn't end well. Well, we'll see. I did read somewhere that McCarthy is a big fan of Will Howard, the Ohio State quarterback that they drafted last year. Another quarterback option could be Derek Carr. I guess now's as good a time as any to bring this up. Not surprising to me, Derek Carr magically is now healthy and would unretire for the right situation. As I said last year at this time, Derek Carr retired from the Saints, not the NFL. My 2 cents is Derek Carr is going to want to go to a team where he can win. So I don't think he's going to the Jets. I don't think he's going to the Browns. The 3 teams that
the Cardinals would also be out for that too because they.
So I don't disagree, but what I would say is that the Cardinals at least have like some weapons. Like if Connor comes back healthy and they have Marvin Harrison, you got Trey McBride, and they have an offensive coach, Mike LaFleur now, who's from that Shanahan tree. So, and somebody who had a clip floating around, apparently Derek Carr on his podcast that he does with his brother said something about how he liked the weapons in Arizona. Now, obviously this was several months ago. So I wouldn't discount the Cardinals. Although I don't disagree with you. I mean, Cardinals are you're fighting an uphill battle in that division already. So,
Right.
I think two spots that should keep, that would make sense would be Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that. Yep.
O'Connell's the quarterback whisperer, and he can, get something out of one season out of Carr. And maybe Miami. Now, Miami just hired Hafley, who's a defensive coach. The offensive coordinator is going to be Bobby Slowick, who was with the Texans. So I don't know.
Now,
I don't know about that, but
I told you what would be the funniest outcome here.
With the Raiders, right?
No. The funniest outcome is he goes
the Falcons. Yeah, the Falcons.
He ends up he goes to your division rival.
Well, that's a good transition because it does look like the Falcons are going to part ways with Kirk Cousins. They are going to get him off the book. Well, he'll still be on the books, I guess, to a certain extent, but they're going to cut him. So this will be kind of an interesting quarterback carousel this offseason to see. Kyler Murray's going to be on a new team. Tua might be on a new team. Obviously, now Derek Carr, that kind of throws a wrinkle into this. So I'm interested to see where everything lands.
Speaking of the Falcons, they good thing that they used they traded those draft picks.
To
draft.
I totally forgot about this.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, so James Pierce, who they traded up 20 picks and gave up a first-round pick that turned into, number 13 for the Rams?
Yep.
I think. He was arrested. It's pretty serious stuff.
Well, it looked bad from the reports I saw. It looked like, and did you see the police? The police had to basically tackle him to the ground because it was,
and I've seen possible 5 years in prison. And it's very, very serious. I don't want to make light of these allegations. I mean, they're very serious allegations.
No, it looked like he should be going away for a long time, and so we should also point out that there were people who had character concerns about him going into the draft. Some teams had them off their board because of this, and so
that's why because if I remember correctly, and it's been a year, so forgive me if I don't remember 100% accurately, but when the mock drafts first started last year, he was like a top 10 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the process kept going, you started hearing he's probably going to drop. You might even be able to get him in the second round. Like Saints were talking about maybe if he falls in the second round, picking him. And then we were watching it draft night, and then all of a sudden here come the Falcons from 20 picks back to get into the first round to draft them. Obviously, you hope. We just hope everything turns out okay. Yeah. Obviously, that the young woman, it's a WNBA player, right? That he was. That's what I read. And again, I apologize if I'm not 100% accurate there, but I read that it was a WNBA player that was accusing him of at the very least stalking him.
Well, I think she ended the relationship, and then he was continuing to, and then she was
and that
leave me alone, and then that was
escalated. Yeah, and that's how we got to where we got to. But yeah, so hopefully everything. I mean,
yeah, Los Angeles Sparks player Rikea Jackson.
Yeah, so hopefully she's okay and moving forward. The Falcons. It's not a great look for them, or not a great outcome for them, I'd say. Just looking through some other teams here. So teams that still need to hire an offensive coordinator. So the Cardinals, obviously they hired Mike LaFleur. He'll probably be the play caller, but they do need an offensive coordinator. The Bears, I don't think the Bears have replaced Declan Doyle yet. Andy might be able to chime in on that if I misspeak there.
Where's our stat boy when we need him?
Yeah, where's stat boy? The Rams are now going to need an offensive coordinator because of Mike LaFleur leaving for Arizona.
I wonder if they'll.
I
wonder if they'll promote Shieldhouse.
That would be my guess. They're probably just going to. We actually should mention Cliff Kingsbury has a job on the staff with the Rams now. So look for him to be in the mix for a head coaching job.
This is him revitalizing his career.
Right.
Look at all this stuff I learned under Sean McVay over here.
Well, apparently he and McVay are buddies, and they've wanted to work together for a while. So good for him. I mean, we'll see what the Raiders are going to have to hire an offensive coordinator. It looks like Kubiak might try to bring Andrew. I think it's Chicano, who is the quarterback's coach with Seattle this past year. He was with Kubiak in New Orleans for that one season that they were there. So I think he's going to follow Kubiak to Vegas. The Jets did hire. Did you see this? The Jets hired Frank Reich, former Panthers head coach.
Because someone said this will be Reich's third stint as an offensive coordinator, and historians will refer to this as the Third Reich.
The third rank. There you go.
Sounds about right for the Jets to have. That's where it should take place.
Hey, vey. Well,
really good, really good timing with Oy vey for
Oy vey.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did. So apologies. I didn't
Pun not
didn't mean
intended.
that. Pun not intended. I'm really sticking my foot in my mouth tonight. Yeah, and then obviously Seattle now is going to need a offensive coordinator as well. I think the thought there is they are going to possibly promote from within. McDonald just strikes me as the kind of guy who he's just going to get somebody who's like, you deal with the offense, I've got the defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, one thing I wanted to mention, if you remember at this time last year, McDonald fired who was there? Was it? I can't remember who the offensive coordinator was prior to Kubiak, but he fired him because he said, we're not getting the results we need. They obviously make the decision to trade Geno Smith, bring in Sam Darnold. He hires Kubiak.
How bad does Geno Smith feel right now?
Well, yeah, because not only did the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, the Raiders have the number one pick. So I mean, the team he left won the Super Bowl. The team he went to now has the number one pick in the draft, and he's not going to be on that team next year.
Was it Ryan Grubb?
That sounds right. That sounds right. I also should mention who was the Chargers. So we talked about the Chargers hiring Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. They also hired Adam Gase as like a offensive assistant. Remember him?
I remember him. Wasn't he the
former Jets? Yep. The
Adam
former Jets
Gase,
coach who,
because he was,
indeed. Yeah. So, and then I'm just looking to make sure I didn't miss anybody else here. We talked about Matt Nagy getting hired by the Giants, right? We talked about that hire. Who else did they hire? They hired somebody else as an offense. Was it? Greg Roman.
That's right.
He's now like a offensive assistant with them as well. So.
That's another blast from the past right there.
Well, because the reason I looked that up today was because Greg Roman was, I believe, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders when Derek Carr was there and had a successful season. So I'm like, oh, well, where's Greg Roman? Derek Carr might want to go there, but he's with the Giants. Obviously, the Giants have a quarterback with Mr. Dart. They're probably not going to be in the used car market, as it were. All right, buddy. Anything else you want to talk about? News and notes here from the NFL?
I can't think of anything. I think we covered the big ones. A lot of it's coaching stuff, the international games, Stephon Diggs and his girlfriend breaking up in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this question. So Kenneth Walker, obviously Super Bowl MVP, he is a free agent this offseason. Probably going to get franchise tagged by the Seahawks, I would imagine.
That would make sense. His agent as they announced Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker, he was like a cartoon character where his dollar signs like lit up in his eyes.
He was only, I think I sent this to you. He's only like the fifth player to win MVP at the Super Bowl, a fifth offensive player to win MVP at the Super Bowl who didn't score a touchdown. Or something like that.
I think you did some of that, but I don't remember who the other four were. So
I don't remember who the other ones were. Maybe it was like he's the fifth running back. He's the first running back since Terrell Davis to win Super Bowl MVP.
Dang, it's been
for the Broncos. Yeah, and it's pretty good company. I mean, running backs who won MVP. So there's obviously Terrell Davis, your guy, Emmett
Smith, who shouldn't have. Let me point out, should not have won that Super Bowl MVP. It should have been James Washington in Super Bowl 28.
Okay, fair enough. And then I know Franco Harris won an MVP. Larry Zonka back in the Dolphin days.
Marcus Allen win one?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm gonna go pull. Let me pull up the list of Super Bowl MVPs.
Yeah, you do that. While you're doing that, I was going to look for something else here. I think I bookmarked it. Nope. Oh, here's something. This is from a while back. Ben Solak tweeted this out. This is after the Bills were eliminated in the playoffs. Only 4 teams in the Super Bowl era have won a playoff game in 6 consecutive seasons. The 91-96 Cowboys, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2011-2018 Patriots, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2018-2024 Chiefs, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2020-25 Bills played in 0 Super Bowls.
Brutal.
So there you go.
Okay, so running back.
Tough beat. Tough
yes.
beat.
So running backs to win MVP. You said Larry Zonka, Franco Harris, John Riggins.
Okay, that was the one I could remember.
Marcus Allen. Oh, so that was correct.
Huh? Yeah.
Otis Anderson.
From the Giants, right?
Super Bowl 25. Yeah. Emmitt Smith, Terrell Davis, Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah, so it's been a while since running back had won MVP. So congratulations to Kenneth Walker and to the Seahawks fans. So I've already started looking to next year, and like if I had to, I mean, we kind of looked at the Super Bowl odds already, but like if you start handicapping, I mean, obviously we've got a whole free agency to go through, draft, offseason, all that good stuff. If you had, and this is probably a good thing for Trang, if you had to ask me right now, do I think the Seahawks repeat? I would say no. I just don't see it.
It's really hard to repeat too. Like we should point out.
Yes, it's hard. So, and you talked about the Patriots taking a step back. We should mention that the Super Bowl hangover for the losing team is a real thing. Like that does take it. I mean, look at the Chiefs even from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you saw what happened to the Eagles the year after they lost to the Chiefs as well. Is that like that was when they crashed out and like couldn't just completely fell apart.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's been one of your favorite parts of the offseason is seeing the Philadelphia Eagles. They've
been a tire fire.
I will say
they're
we didn't talk.
That's what we should have talked about too. Is their legendary? They lost their like Jeff Stoutland, who is their like well known throughout the league as the best offensive line coach in football.
I'm just going to say this here now, Mr. Stoutland, Coach Stoutland. If you want to place in New Orleans, come on down. You can do whatever you want. Just come on.
So
come on down.
We should also point out that the NFL released Super Bowl 61, the logo.
Yeah.
And the colors on there, one of them was orange, and the other one was kind of a greenish color, but it's mixed in with some sea waves. And I don't know if you know this, Paul, but there's one franchise in the NFL who has pants that are very famously known because of the way they were made to look on TV. When TV was not, the colors were not very good. They made their pants a color called seafoam green. Now
this rings a bell, but
so the green that is in the Super Bowl logo is also on waves, some sea waves, you might say, and there is some foam on there. So there is some seafoam green going on, which would match the color worn by the pants of the Dallas Cowboys. So Super Bowl, and this will also be Super Bowl. What Super Bowl number will it be, Paul?
61.
What number did Jerry Jones wear at Arkansas?
61.
61. You see where I'm going with this?
Now, I see where you're going. Now, if this does come to pass, and the team they are playing is the Broncos, we absolutely have to get Donnie on.
We'll get Donnie on. I'll tell him off. I'll talk trash to him the whole time. You ready, Donnie? Someone
Bo Nix, Bo Nix versus Dak Prescott for the Super Bowl 61. Who says no?
Someone did apparently make a bet on Bengals over Cowboys in the Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl exact.
Oh yeah, it could be big. Yeah, that's another good. Yeah,
it would be funny.
We need to find a Bengals. If you're watching the show, if you listen to the show, if you know a Bengals fan or you are a Bengals fan, please just so that we have our bases covered, please
So
reach out.
One of the guys that I met at the soccer conference a couple of weeks ago was actually from Cincinnati.
Okay.
So we might actually have something there. I will say,
all right, well, there we go.
It would be funny because the Cowboys and the Bengals were kind of like the same team in that they both have these like really great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of offensive weapons. So you got two like number one receivers out there. Incredible offenses. Their defenses are so bad that it doesn't matter. If those are the two teams in the Super Bowl next year, it would be just an incredibly hilarious turnaround for both franchises.
Well, I mean, Zach Taylor is coaching for his job, has to be coaching for his job at this point.
He's been coaching for his job for a couple of years now.
Yeah, you would think. There's a rumor that's kind of going around that like the Vikings might try to make a play for Joe Burrow, like to trade for Joe Burrow, which is like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, why would the Bengals do?
Well,
that's the question.
You would get a haul of draft picks. Oh, something else I wanted to mention. They're looking at changing so right now in the NFL, you can only trade up to 3 years ahead of draft picks. They're looking at changing that to 5 years ahead. And it's like, I forget who reported it initially, but they said I forget how they phrased it, but something along the lines of like, some folks in the league have been advocating for this change. And a lot of Saints fans were retweeting that and said, that someone is Mickey Loomis. Like, let's just be clear. That's the someone.
Well, it's funny because like that's kind of like what the NBA is. Like you can trade picks out.
Right.
God knows when. You're like,
yeah.
And in this deal, they also get back a 2037 second round pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's top 32 protected.
Someone said Mickey's going to trade like the 2030 first rounder for Max Crosby. I like this idea.
That sounds about right.
So let me ask you this question because obviously, as a Cowboys fan, defense is a focal point, I would say.
I would say that.
Going into the offseason. You talked about the Bengals. There is a Bengal who is a free agent this offseason named Trey Hendrickson. Would you, as a Cowboys fan, rather have Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby?
Definitely Crosby, I think I like the upside and part of this is like, so if you're the Cowboys, what you really need to do is you need to maximize the next 2 to 3 years because that's kind of your Dak window. Crosby, I think he's played a lot of snaps, and that's one of the questions on him. I think Hendrickson is a little older in like actual years, but I think Crosby is a little older in terms of like football years based on like games played. But I think the like putting him on the end when you've also got like Quinnen Williams in the middle, like immediately turns your defensive line into just like a complete nightmare for opponents. Hendrickson, I think, is a good player, but doesn't bring the same ceiling that I think Crosby does.
So the one thing I will mention about Hendrickson, if he does become a Cowboy, is he would be a new patron saint Cowboy.
I forgot about that.
Because he was originally drafted by the Saints in that 2017 famed draft class with Marshawn Lattimore and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. Or wait, was Thomas in that class? It might have been the year before. But anyway. This got a little bit, that's not really breaking news, but apparently Jason La Canfora, who's been reporting on the NFL for a long time, says that the two teams most interested in Malik Willis in free agency are the Browns and the Dolphins. So
okay, good to know.
The Dolphins make sense because Hafley came from the Packers.
That's true.
Obviously probably has a relationship with Willis. Which I would think if that were the case, he would try to hire somebody from the Packers as his offensive coordinator. But again, he went with Bobby Slowick, so who knows?
Paul, I'm looking at this MVP list. Would you like some fun facts about the Cowboys Super Bowl MVPs?
Please.
So the Cowboys have played in 8 Super Bowls. They've won 5.
All right.
Do you know how many Super Bowl MVPs they have?
So it's less than 5, I'm guessing.
No, it's actually more than 5.
Oh, so they had one in one of the ones they lost?
They did. They're the only team to ever have a player be MVP in the Super Bowl they lost.
Wait, we talked about this.
We talked about
this last. Yeah, we talked about this. I can't remember who it was.
That would be Harvey. No, not Harvey Martin. Chuck Howley is the
Chuck Howley.
Yeah,
that's
Super
right.
Bowl
that's
5.
Right. That's right.
So,
okay. So they've had 6 MVPs.
They've had 7 MVPs. So,
So that happened twice.
No, so they actually had in Super Bowl 12 they had co-MVPs.
Okay.
So Harvey Martin and Randy White both won.
Okay,
Super Bowl
I remember
MVP
that now.
in Super Bowl 12.
So Chuck Howley, Harvey Martin,
Randy White,
Emmitt Smith, Larry Brown.
Yep.
Well, really Neil O'Donnell, but yeah, Larry Brown. Did Aikman win one?
Aikman won 27.
Okay, Aikman won. Okay, so one more. Wasn't Staubach.
Staubach.
Was it Staubach?
Super Bowl 6.
Okay, so
there we go.
And then real quick, just a quick shout out to the Saints' first ballot Hall of Famer, Drew Brees. Chargers, don't come at me, Chargers, that he was your guy. No. You gave up on him. You don't
talk to me about the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is dead to me, Paul. It is a worthless institution that has no merit. No standing with me anymore.
Listen, I thought Darren Woodson should get into, buddy.
Well, Jason Witten,
or Jason Witten at least.
I think Jason Witten probably. I think he stuck around too long. The Locked On Cowboys podcast also said this, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, because he came back, he retired and then came back,
right?
And
that's
so,
right. Yeah.
Like, and then he also had that season, like a season with the Raiders. That was like, like. I think it might have been better for him if he had hung it up sooner.
So there were five new inductees to the Hall of Fame: Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, we let the kicker in before Darren Woodson. That's a nice.
Roger Craig, and who am I missing?
Luke Kuechly.
Yes, thank you. Of course. NFC South, Carolina Panther legend Luke Kuechly, who deservedly so, I would say. He was he and Breeze had quite a number of battles over the years in the NFC South. Because I remember this is his second year, right? Kuechly of eligibility. I was kind of surprised he didn't get in last year.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, and Rich Eisen brought this up on his show, because the maximum number of inductees is 8. And his point was like, okay, if you're not going to vote Belichick in, why are you only voting 5 in?
Right.
This makes
doesn't make any
kind
sense.
It's asinine. Like, it's like, why are we like? I think Darren Woodson. I'm with you. Darren Woodson should have been in.
So
you could have
one of the Locked On Cowboys hosts, non-Landon, but he said that he asked like one of the guys who votes for like the Hall of Fame, who has a Hall of Fame vote. I think he like works. He's like an Indianapolis guy, but he asked him. He's like, do you know who the all-time leading tackler is for the Cowboys? And he had no idea. And it was just like, okay, so these are the people that vote on this. And it's just like, we need something's broken here.
Yes. I mean, and Randy Moss went on ESPN and said, if you didn't play, if you didn't coach, you shouldn't have a vote, which I don't want to go down that road,
Right.
but I mean, yeah, there's a happy medium, right? There's got to be some kind of happy medium, because I'm sure like that gentleman that you just talked about is probably, or that voter is probably looking at it like, okay, I know Breeze, I know Fitzgerald, I know, and they're not going to do the research of like, oh, Darren Woodson's the all-time leading tackler for the most storied franchise in the NFL.
And they don't know that he was like one of those like hybrid guys that like basically changed how, because he would like play the deep third, but also come down and cover in the slot. He was like a hybrid safety before hybrid safeties existed.
Yeah, I would say there's no Cam Chancellor without Darren Woodson.
Right.
Like there's no, like he kind of paved the way for that kind of
guys like Kyle Hamilton and those guys that are out there today, like wouldn't be out there without him. So I think maybe it would be better if like we went to like, seems like the Baseball Hall of Fame, for all its faults, tends to do a better job of having people who actually know the sport and tend to like.
Well, my wife, because my wife follows baseball a little, well, not anymore, but she used to follow baseball pretty closely, and she was a huge Jeff Bagwell fan, and I remember she got really frustrated because Bagwell just kept not getting in the Hall of Fame. And so Thursday morning, I mentioned to her, I was like, oh yeah, we find out if Breeze made the Hall of Fame tonight. They're announcing it tonight. And she goes, well, is the NFL like the Baseball Hall of Fame where they don't think you should go in on the first ballot?
It's not.
And I'm like, well, not really. I mean, except for Belichick.
Yeah, except for Belichick.
Like, which still, I mean,
did you see?
Still the most asinine thing.
Did you see the Belichick girlfriend shirt?
No, I think I heard something about it, but I don't remember what it is.
So they were at the UNC basketball game. I want to say UNC Duke, and she was wearing a Orchids of Asia T-shirt.
Okay.
Do you know what that? Okay. Do you know what that refers to? It is a Robert Kraft massage parlor.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. I did see something about this. Now that speaking of North Carolina, they lost tonight to Miami.
Interesting.
Basketball. So
I did not get to look at my numbers for today. So.
Tough break for them.
No, that's a shame.
That's a shame. Yeah. So we'll be back next week. Talk a little bit about. Well, we'll have a movie to talk about. We'll talk about Superman. You'll give us a Olympics update.
I will.
Maybe?
I will. I'll keep you posted on what's going on in the world.
Keep us posted there.
Olympic sports.
I don't expect any kind of big NFL news between now and then. I mean, maybe because nothing really can happen at this point until March. I think free agency tags or what do you call it? Franchise tags can happen.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of like the Cowboys are going to tag George Pickens, and that's basically just so no other team can like negotiate with him. Really,
I was looking. Are all your running backs free agents like Javonte and?
I think Javonte was a 2-year deal, but like they could get out of it if they needed to. I think there was actually talk about like maybe Rico Dowdle comes back.
Well, I know Rico's a free agent.
He is.
Because I know he made a point, said something after the season with Carolina, like, I want to go someplace where I can play or something like that, or, don't have to share carries. But I thought I saw Javonte was also a free agent. And then Miles Sanders. Is Miles Sanders with the Cowboys?
Yeah, but he probably won't be back. He was just kind of
well, your boy Blue is still there,
we'll
right?
see. We'll see what he does in the no, the Javonte deal was 1 year. I thought it was 2 for 6, but it's 1 for 3.
So Cowboys might be in the market for a running back. I guess we could talk about that next week too. We'll kind of go through who the big names in free agency are at the different positions, just kind of give a sense there. The draft combine is in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's the end of February, I believe. So
Sure.
we might talk about that at some point. But until next week, I hope everybody has a good Valentine's Day on Saturday. So happy Valentine's Day to all you folks.
Have a good Friday the 13th.
Have a good Friday the 13th. Stay safe out there. Actually, there'll be 2 back-to-back Friday the 13th.
That's right, because March is always...
March will have...
Usually is the
March
same.
will have... Well, yeah, except in leap years.
Year,
yeah, it's the same. Yeah, so that'll be fun. But yeah, enjoy the Olympics. Happy Valentine's Day. And until next week, happy football.
Happy Olympics.
Everybody.